We'll talk about a chilly Thursday across Central Oregon. Temperatures have been well below average for this time of the year. We've had a whole lot of cloud cover and there's been no rain in sight. Hey everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Darrell Winninger from the Central Oregon Daily Weather Center. We're about to do a deep dive in your most reliable forecast. Talk about what's been happening today, what's coming up through the next couple of days, how that's going to impact our plans, including that trick-or-treating forecast. So let's start off with what we're seeing this evening. Still, clouds. Not much in the way of clearing just yet, and here through tonight, some clearing is indeed expected, but just looking at a couple other cameras. The Hampton Butte, the Bend camera, those are Oregon Hazard Lab cameras. We're going to look at a few more, and they are showing some areas of haze. This haze predominantly because of some pile burns that are ongoing across parts of the Tri-County area, and here through the overnight hours, this is going to thicken up a little bit more, but currently we have good to moderate air quality, and these sensors, well, it's two different networks on this map. The base map is from the DEQ and airnow.gov, and the little dots you see, those are all from eSpace, a local company in Bend that has this air quality monitoring network, lets us use it for a shout out. So there's a shout out, eSpace. Okay, now when it comes to some other sensors, we do have one more network. This is the Purple Air one, and it's a little bit more sensitive when it comes to each one of those sensors. And look at this, it's actually showing that same good to moderate, but in some parts of the Tri-County area, we're seeing some oranges, we're seeing some reds. That's where we have reduced air quality even more. And so we are continuing to track that, but for the most part, doesn't look too bad. Periods of reduced to poor air quality are possible tonight, but so is the risk of some overnight fog, which would be freezing fog for parts of Central Oregon. Now, going forward through the next couple of days, we have a whole lot of cloud cover right now. We will get some clearing. That clearing line is just on the west slopes of the Cascades right now. Tonight, we start to see some stars. And then that next system continues to roll a little bit closer. But for the most part, that next system doesn't actually push through here until we get to Saturday. And Saturday night, that's our next chance of rain. So what is tomorrow going to bring? Well, it's going to start off with some of that clearing, and then clouds roll into the high desert, but we're staying dry, even through trick-or-treating time. Switching gears, we're looking at infrared satellite imagery right now, and there's an enhancement on the infrared imagery to pull out those really tall clouds. So we can see that even over the Tri-County area, these clouds are mid to low level, starting to break up a little bit, and some of that is going to clear the area. A lot of it is, but some of it is going to descend over parts of Central Oregon. That's where we're looking at those areas of fog. But for many of us, we'll actually get that clearing slot on the backside of this wave of moisture. Looking at the bigger picture, there's a little bit more moisture further to the south, and there's a larger low pressure system that's out over the Gulf of Alaska. This will be our next cold front, but it's also really going to be impacting the BC of Canada, Washington, and parts of northwestern Oregon. We're talking around the greater Portland and Salem areas. And this is going to bring rain to parts of the Pacific Northwest for trick-or-treating times, just not us. Our rain holds off until we get later on into the period. So this is infrared satellite imagery. The one before was a blend between infrared and visible. Now let's look at water vapor imagery. This really helps us see where we have some of that deep moisture, and there is some with that next cold front that's rolling in, but we have some moderate moisture over the Pacific Northwest right now, and see that blue, dark blue and the yellow? That is a dry air mass, and that is what pushes in tonight into Friday. Because of the dry air mass, we're looking at rain chances holding off a little bit longer through the day tomorrow and until we get to Saturday. And so that's why we're looking at a dry trick-or-treating forecast. Now this forecast model that I'm showing you right now, this is a high resolution one. It's really going to help paint the picture of what's going to happen. Through the overnight hours, we catch that clearing, but look closely. You can actually see some of the denser cloud cover. That is where we have the potential for some fog development, and it looks like it could become pretty scattered across parts of the Tri-County area. And where that happens, that's going to be freezing fog. So it's something we're tracking pretty closely. That lifts up, doesn't dissipate too quickly. We keep a lot of those clouds through Friday, but then freeze frame at 5 p.m. This is about the start of trick-or-treating time, especially for the younger ones. It's still daylight. And through the next couple of hours, it's dry. Now, some in and out clouds are expected, partly to mostly cloudy, no rain in sight, a light breeze, and chilly for the high desert. In fact, it's really not until we get to well into Saturday during the late morning and midday hours that we start to see some shadows showers roll into the high desert, and then rain becomes scattered before it really starts to clear out by the time we get to Sunday. So ultimately, rain is on the way, just not until after trick-or-treating conditions. And when it comes for that potential of fog tonight, we're going to be keeping an eye on the relative humidity values. They're measured in percentages, and we do have some moderate totals here, moderate readings here, where we're in the 50s and 60s. When it gets to about 85, 90, that's when we start checking cameras for any fog. Now, temperatures in the last 24 hours, highs ranging from the 40s to the 60s. Some of those are holdovers from yesterday. This is where we're sitting right now. 40s with 56 in Paulina and 53 in Warm Springs. And that puts us between 5 and 10 degrees cooler, 5 and 11 degrees cooler than we were 24 hours ago. Tonight, back through the 30s and into the 20s, most of us below freezing. Tomorrow, 60s. But let's hone in on that trick-or-treating forecast. Let's start with the general one. We're looking at temperatures falling through the 50s and into the 40s. Clouds are expected. It's going to become chilly with a light breeze and no rain in sight. But let's do you one better. Remember, sunset is at 5:56 p.m. Let's break this down to hour by hour. Still 60 degrees by 5 p.m., then through the 50s, into the 40s by 9. Some in and out clouds are expected. Winds won't be too much of a pain at all. Just a light breeze is expected, but it is going to be chilly, so keep that in mind. Now, Friday, we're looking at 60s, a few 50s possible. That system's still offshore. Still, we're under the influence of a ridge of high pressure. Saturday, still 60s, some 50s possible. Then that cold front pushes through. We get the cool down on the high desert. So, between now and Sunday at 11 p.m., we are going to get wet. Most of it happens Saturday and Saturday night, and then we get our next dip in temperatures. Not only is tomorrow Halloween, but we also fall back the clocks Saturday night. Now, ultimately, we are looking at some showers through the Tri-County area, but again, they really hold off until we get to Saturday. And with that, it's going to be scattered at first, not really becoming widespread, and then clearing out by Sunday afternoon and evening. We have mostly clear conditions, and we are expecting not much in the way of precipitation between now and Friday at 11 p.m. The end of trick-or-treating way over by then. It really starts up on Saturday and then continues through Saturday night. So let's take a quick look at a couple more things before we wrap this up tonight. Areas of freezing fog possible, 20s with some 30s on the map. Then through the day tomorrow, we're topping out in the lower to mid 60s with a few 50s possible. Staying in the 60s Saturday, winds are going to get breezy, showers start up and really push through overnight. After that, we get clearing on Sunday and dip back into the 50s for a couple of days. More roller coaster temperatures are expected, but by this time next week, we're in a more active weather pattern, really taking shape on Tuesday. So one more quick look at your headlines for this Thursday, October the 30th. Cold nights and some clearing are expected, especially tonight. Halloween night, more clouds, chilly and dry, but fall warming is expected Friday and Saturday before showers. And when I say fall warming, we're talking 60s for highs. That's the latest in weather. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News. We'll have the latest headlines and your most reliable forecast. See you then.